I've digressed way too much from the intro for our topic, but kind of going back to like, what does it mean to have that person in mind?
Well, I think oftentimes it completely changes the conversation from being how do we, and I don't want to, well, maybe I will. How do we trick or coerce or pressure our point of contact into helping push a sale through? It changes it from that tactic to a strategy of let's truly spend time together to understand what you're trying to solve for as an organization, and let's figure out if this is even the right approach for you, which it may or may not be. And I think that that's where a lot of these agencies are making a very poor decision in terms of the decision they're making for the client is they're taking what is best for them. I need to sell Facebook Cappy because I get a kickback from Facebook, and they're applying that to their client, saying we know best what's best for the client. They need Facebook Cappy, without even again asking the question like, do they really need it? What is this solving for? The person, that ultimate buyer who's signing the check, is it going to help make their job easier, help them better communicate with customers, help them provide more positive experiences with prospective customers? They're not slowing down and asking that question, and it's very problematic. And so again, I think it's a night and day difference of shifting from high pressure, let's try to push this sale through, to let's slow down and figure out, first of all, is this the right thing, and if it is, how do we do this in such a way that it's mapping to outcomes that are going to provide positive value for customers? And it's clear that that's not happening. Because again, I don't think that the companies that we have visibility into are unique, that it just so happens to be they're the ones that aren't getting great value out of this. It's representative of the whole, that this is happening across the board on a very broad spectrum, and it's because that ultimate buyer isn't kept in mind. And I think a huge part of this is driven by a lack of accountability from these agencies, is no one's really standing up to them and saying, this isn't right. Like, you're making decisions on our behalf that are not in our best interest. No one's holding them accountable to that. And so they keep doing it. And if they do get caught, it doesn't matter. They go on to the next host. This is not a symbiotic relationship. It's not a relationship where both parties are supporting each other. It's a host virus relationship, or whatever you want to call it, that they come in, they suck as much value out of the organization as they can, and once they're found out, or there's no more value to get sucked out of the organization, they're like, okay, we'll go find another host that we can, and it's just this ongoing cycle, and it's incredibly unfortunate. And I think it's a big reason why not only are we seeing companies failing to get the promised ROI from things like Facebook Cappy, but it's why we're seeing so much volatility right now in agency relationships. So many companies are refreshing their agency relationships. So it's like, oh, we need to go with a new agency because this is broken. I'm like, well, unless we understand the underlying reason why that's happening, the agency recommending things that's in their best interest, not ours, we're likely going to go out and pick another agency that's going to replicate the same problem. So, I think it's important to bring these conversations to the light of day.